Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good, good, good. Well, this is the quiz I promised you, and it's on your assignment on the Canvas page. And here is the prompt, and I want to go through this with you so you're very clear about what I'm asking you to do. And so again, like we've been doing, a 3-paragraph essay. And the first one is like the last one. The first paragraph is really your choice of works that you choose to write on. And I want you to stay on the starred works, and I want you to limit it to chapter 5 or chapter 6. And so paragraph 1 is just that, the identification of the artwork. That is the subject of your essay. Include all relevant information such as title, size, date of creation, place of museum where it can be found, and so on. That information should either be copied from the starred slide that you reference on Canvas or from the textbook, which is really the same thing. Paragraph 2, I want you to give me your opinion. So think about that when you're choosing your artwork. And your opinion, I'm not going to, if you like something or you dislike something, that's not an issue. You won't win points for liking something, and you won't lose points for disliking something. And so anyway, describe your opinion of the work. And then I put a bunch of either ors or suggestions here: favorable or unfavorable, like or dislike, historically important or insignificant, emotionally stirring or intellectually stimulating. And this is not just a simple binary choice. You can have a lot of different opinions in there. It could be something that you dislike, but it's emotionally stimulating. For example, could make you angry or sad or something. But at any rate, praiseworthy or object of contempt, ideal or immoral. This is actually kind of an interesting issue in and of itself. I'm giving you a hint here, because in some belief systems, this kind of artwork and the gods say that the buildings, paintings, or sculpture represents might be considered to be pagan and unholy and stuff. That's why a lot of stuff doesn't survive. Beautiful or ugly, etc. And here's an important part of this prompt. Use appropriate terminology, that is art vocabulary, to explain the basis of your opinion. Explain the rationale for your opinion, again, using the vocabulary of the discipline. So you can't just use these generic terms like, oh, I like it because it's pretty. I want you to build this out. And so it says proper terminology can be used as keywords in your search. Because that's paragraph 3, using online resources, finding quote material which supports your opinion. Sources do not need to be peer reviewed. I wanted to show you library resources on quiz 2. I know you can do that now. This is just a general search. I'm not going to be counting whether it's peer reviewed or maybe even to the fact that it's actually credible, because it's opinion. And that's what I say. Sources do not need to be peer reviewed or even from the Maryville Library. You can go on any kind of search engine you like. And be sure to mention the source of your quotes and list the websites in your endnotes, like always. And here is your endnotes, proper bibliographic format. Here is your first entry, as usual, the textbook. After that, it'll probably be URLs and the like. But when I said proper terminology can be used as keywords, what I mean by that is that if you like something because it has ideal proportions, a subject that we talked about, you could put your chosen artwork and ideal proportions on your search. And that'll get you right to some of the things that I'm pretty sure you'll want for your third paragraph. Up here, by the way, I put, I embedded the PowerPoint. And I want to show it to you. Quiz 3. And I kind of went through an example here of the standard of It's not in chapters 5 and 6, so it was fair game. And here's the second slide. And this is where it shows up in the PowerPoints. There is the information, and you can see it is a starred slide. And I have 2 starred slides of the same object, front and back. The peace side, the war side, for example. And so here's my Google search. And you see I have up here, standard of And I circle this, Ancient History Encyclopedia, and this is what I found. The standard of and this has underneath this, it's just a screenshot, quite a lot of information about this piece. Likewise, I'm going on to why is the standard of important? Because maybe that's what I had to say. And this was a good site for what was important about the standard of and here is, I want to elaborate a little bit on this. This is BibleHistory.com. And this is the site it takes you to. And it says, does this artifact give evidence of the original home of Abraham? See, there is a religious motivation for either liking or disliking. Abraham, by the way, is considered to be the father of 3 great religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And so that itself is important. But anyway, you can go on here and find the evidence. And so that's part of what fills support for your opinion. I got another one, standard of in Sumerian art, and it says, it's ardelicious. And this is really this is a WordPress document that somebody made and put online, but it has a lot of description here that you may find support for your opinion. And here it is. Here's like For instance, I underlined some of this just because it really hit some of the points that we talked about here in class. It says who can recognize by, toward the king, who we can recognize by his bigger size. And we talked about that, size as important. And here is two main roles in the Sumerian king, and that is king of war and king of peace. And this talks a little bit about some of the physical characteristics. Is perfectly centered on the king for the war panel. And so perfectly centered is a compositional issue. And it's a good source to explain the importance of chariots and the heavy infantry in Sumerian civilization. That's a military thing. I underline that. I did 4 years in the army. I was in the infantry. I kind of think that's cool. But that's my opinion. And here, look at this. I found this one. It's called Spoonflower. And it is a place to buy textiles and stuff, kind of like Joann's Fabrics, but it's online. And looky here. The standard of as a pattern. You can buy this, you can make a shirt or a dress or drapes or anything with the standard of So if you're talking about this as a decorative thing or a beautiful thing, this could probably support that opinion quite nicely. And I want to show you this. The standard of oh, I can't read that. Anyway, articles. And this is kind of cool. This is why I love the internet. You can find just about anything you want if you have the patience to look for it, and you got the keywords. That's why I'm going to go back to reemphasize that point of when you write that second paragraph, that should be full of keywords that you could use. But this is Hidden Women of History. And here is the site. Enheduanna, princess, priestess, and the world's first known author. This is a site, and it's by an educator, a professor. It's legit. And she is very interested in women's history. And I think I talked about that in this class before, and I'll say it again because it's really true. For a long time, for centuries, women were written out of the official art history, and their roles were minimized, as were other groups of people. And so we got scholars out there in this day and age, and they're finding there have been many contributions made by women and many contributions made by minorities and other groups that have been marginalized. And so that's my PowerPoint. I put it in on the site so you wouldn't have to go back to the modules. It's right there. And there it is. Do I have any questions? I want you to submit this, write the text right under the prompt, just like last time.
Can you check the chat, please?
Okay, I heard something.
Can you check the chat, please?
I'm sorry. You're cutting
Can you,
out a little bit.
oh, can you check the chat, please?
Can I check the what?
The chat.
Oh, the chat. Okay. Oh, doggone, slip. And I gotta minimize this. There we go. Chat one. Oh, the Lackawanna. And I said I would star that. That was my oversight. And Megan, yes, you can do Lackawanna and his sons. That was my oversight. And that's available to all of you guys. And Megan, if you do that, I think that's a good choice.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I'll show you some other things. It's open, available now until tomorrow night at midnight. And that's also when it's due. I need it then. So perhaps on Wednesday morning, I can get through these, take a look at them and post some grades before we move on to the Roman Empire. Okay, I'm here. If you got questions, let me know. I can see you typing right now. Or something.